Everything might not be fun.
The politicians keep saying, why is our healthcare system so expensive? And like, duh.
How does that make any sense? We'll figure it out. This is the thing. I'm just getting totally unhinged now, and I don't know what to do. Okay, so we just finished a run, and we're in beautiful Howard County. Not everything's so nice. This is a salt storage facility, which since we had no snow out is full. So it's kind of cool. So I wanted to talk about with these two guys this thing called PSA. You guys know what PSA is?
I don't remember. You talk about it all the time.
PSA is a blood test for prostate cancer.
Right.
So it can tell you if you have prostate cancer, maybe.
Maybe.
So it's not like yes or no kind of test. It's got a number, and if the number is over a certain amount, you're more likely. Higher, you're more likely.
Okay.
If it goes up a certain amount per year, you're more likely.
Okay.
So a lot of my patients have told me
You're more likely, but you may not have it.
may not have it.
Okay.
So a lot of my patients swear to God that their lives have been saved by this test because they got this test. You can't tell if you have prostate cancer otherwise. There's no way to tell.
You mean you'll never start to feel bad?
You'll feel bad when it's advanced, but if you want to catch it early, this test is the way to catch it early.
So
Okay.
after the PSA test, then you start treatment for cancer?
No. So the PSA test gives you a hint. You go through a biopsy,
Okay.
and then you find
So
you
it's
have the
another test.
cancer, another test, and then you go for treatment.
Okay.
So a lot of people said if I hadn't gotten that PSA test, I never would have known I would have prostate cancer and I'd be dead. That's the PSA.
That's the process.
Okay.
And so
Does the test hurt?
the biopsy hurts like crap.
Okay.
People say it's the worst experience of their life.
But
the
they
biopsy.
only give that to you if you
10,
test.
they do like 10 or 15
They give it to you if your numbers are at a
too
certain
That's
high.
only if your PSA is bad, so what's the big deal?
Because
So-
probably everybody's PSA is bad.
Yeah, a lot of
Because they want to make money or something.
Well, not that they want to make money, it's just that it's not a great test. So it has an 80% false positive rate.
Oh, 80% false positive.
Right, so of
Okay, yeah, I-
abnormal tests, 80% of them, you do the biopsy and they say, bad news is you hurt like crap, the good news is no cancer. But we're going to have to keep doing the PSA and it's always going to be abnormal and we may have to biopsy again because the biopsy is not perfect.
Well, is this one of those cancers that you die a quick death with?
No.
Okay.
So about a quarter to a third of men who die have prostate cancer in their body that didn't kill them. So a huge amount of people die with prostate cancer. Prostate cancer rarely kills people. Maybe 1 to 2%.
What's that percentage of people that die anyway from something else that have prostate cancer?
About 30%.
Okay.
So 30% of people just happen to have prostate cancer in them. So those people, if
It's
they
not
get,
lethal,
it's not
usually.
lethal. So if they get the PSA test, they will get a biopsy, be told they have prostate cancer, and then get treated for it.
Okay, so
Whereas they would not
80%
have died anyway.
So you said 80% false positive, so that means 20%
20% they pick
that
up
have
cancer.
a PSA, they pick up cancer,
Right.
and they start them treating it even though a lot of cases at least it's not lethal.
They say maybe 95% of cases it's not lethal,
Okay.
maybe more. So
Okay.
and it doesn't matter how aggressive it is, it seems.
Listen, somebody tells me I have cancer, no matter
You're going
what
to
the
treat
numbers are.
me too.
Yeah,
and you know
I mean,
me.
I don't care
me
what you're
too.
saying
So
right now.
if you go to the
Yeah,
go
what's
for
the downside, right?
what's the downside of
What's the
treatment?
downside of treatment?
Okay, so you're a woman. But so think about how you want. So you're the wife in this situation,
Yeah,
or the
okay.
girlfriend, however, whatever you want to be.
Okay.
And this guy, I did the PSA because he says I want you to be thorough and do the PSA,
Yeah.
and it's positive. And we do the biopsy, and you have cancer. And the
Okay.
doctor says, okay, we could do radiation, we could do surgery, or we could just leave you alone and just watch it. So what's the downside? If you do radiation or surgery,
Yeah.
there's about a 20% chance that you will lose control of your bladder the rest of your life.
Oh, great, yeah.
Leaking
Great.
the rest of your
Oh,
life.
yeah.
Great for him, great for me.
You'd love to be
There is a
that.
60% chance you will be
It's
impotent.
not funny.
You will be impotent. 60% chance you will be impotent.
Okay.
That even you can take all the pills you want.
Just from the biopsy or no?
No,
if you
from
have
the
to,
from the treatment.
Oh, from the treatment.
From the
Okay,
treatment,
okay, I'm with
you'll
you.
be impotent. So,
That's a
given
big-
that
that's a big hit on quality of
95% of these, or maybe even 99% of these will not kill you.
99% of these cancers won't kill you.
Right. Do you, okay.
Why do they have this
Okay,
test?
But then
so
you
you're
have
ready?
this huge chance of losing your quality of life
If you get treatment.
if you get treatment.
But if you don't get treatment, think about it. Think about it. You're going to be scared to death that this cancer's taken over your
I
body.
mean, of course, and you're
right?
going to want to do something about
So
it.
they did a recent study, a 10-year study, Well, they did 2 recent studies. One that just came out, and it showed people who get PSAs die at the same rate of prostate cancer as people who never get PSAs. They die exactly the same rate.
Okay.
And that rate is about 1%. And they did another study.
What does that mean?
That 1% of people die of prostate. You know, less than 1%.
Less than 1%?
Okay, no, it was 3 out of 1,000 people. I'll show the graph. 3 out of 1,000 people are there about, maybe a little more or less. It'll be on the graph. Die of prostate cancer in their life, whether they get a PSA or whether they don't get a PSA. It was exactly the same. It was 3 out of 1,000 die of prostate cancer.
Okay.
Whether or not. The second study that came out said that in people who get prostate cancer, after 10 years, if you have surgery, if you have radiation, or if you do nothing, 1% of you die. 1% of people die after 10 years.
Doesn't matter how you were.
Doesn't
But the
matter
people
if
who
you
did
get
nothing,
treatment or non-treatment.
1% die.
The people that do nothing,
Right.
okay? Like, they gradually don't feel like crap.
Right. Now, some of them develop metastatic disease. Means it goes to their bone. More than the other group. So 4 out of 1,000 people, compared to the other group, develop...
What does that mean to me? Is it lethal? To have it go to your
No,
bone?
not lethal.
All right.
But it might hurt.
Okay.
But
so
that's
maybe
4
you
out
might
of
live with
1,000
some
people.
pain.
So the treatment prevents that.
The
It
treatment
prevents
is
4 out of 1,000 people from getting metastatic disease. It prevents no deaths.
But it's
so-
like
but that's in
6
10
out of
years.
10 become impotent, and
6 out of 10 become impotent. 2 out of 10 become incontinent.
Let me tell you this,
That's
though.
the problem
I'm
with
sitting
this
here
test.
listening to all this.
Yeah.
2 out of 10. I can't keep it straight.
Okay.
I just can't keep it
A lot-
straight, so
okay,
I don't
let
know
me
what
tell
you're
you,
saying.
Let me tell you it this way.
All I know is that
This test does not save any lives. We know that.
it must save some lives.
It saves 0 lives.
Sounds
The
like
2
zero.
new studies show it saves no lives. But it might prevent you, a small amount of people, just like a 0.5%,
from the pain.
from
of
getting the pain of metastatic disease.
Okay,
It
so let me tell you this.
Yeah.
If a certain person goes to the doctor
Yeah.
and they get the test
Yeah.
and they have a high number,
Yeah.
but they're a young person,
Yeah. Well, you don't do this test until someone's 50.
let's say they're
So already
50.
they're old.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just so confused.
Right.
You're saying that it really, what did you just say? Something like it doesn't, it helps no.
It doesn't help you live longer.
It doesn't help you live longer.
It doesn't help you prevent dying from prostate cancer. It doesn't help you. Although
It doesn't help you from dying from prostate.
Right.
It doesn't help you living longer. It doesn't
Right.
help you feel better.
Well, you might feel worse
Yeah,
if you get
right,
this.
but it doesn't make you feel better.
Well, if you don't, you could avoid this metastatic disease to your bones, but not a lot of people. But you might the downside.
The
is that
incontinence and the impotence is here, and the metastatic is here. I mean, it sounds
way
like
down.
I
Yeah.
know,
it
but
sounds
if it
like
were
it-
you,
it sounds like it violates the Hippocratic Oath. It sounds like it does harm.
It sounds like it does harm, but again, like what you're saying, once you have the cancer, you say, I don't care if I'm peeing. I
Yeah,
just want
if-
this cancer out of me.
if you were- if
So
it
the
were
question-
right.
So the question is this: is this a test that we should be giving people? I mean, look at what this test does. This test puts you in a mess.
if
It
I
puts
was
you in a
70
mental
years
mess.
old and somebody said, I have this number, get whatever, I'd say, forget it. If they tell me you get 10 years to live, I'd say, okay, great.
Definitely.
Not doing
right? Definitely
anything,
not.
right? But if I'm 50 years old and I have a chance, no matter what that chance is, of getting metastatic cancer, I would be freaking out.
But so if you get this test, though, again, very uncertain. But what you know at 50 is there's a big chance you're going to start leaking urine and be impotent at
Okay,
age
but
50.
let me say something.
And without
Does the
any
test-
evidence that
does the
it's gonna
test
save-
where they do the biopsy
Yeah.
make, if you have the cancer, make it go anywhere else?
No.
You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
So then you can make a decision after the biopsy.
Yeah.
But again, who's going to make the decision of saying, "Oh, I have cancer. I'll just sit on it"? There are a few good people
There
like
are
that.
people
That's
like
not
doctors
me.
who
That's
probably
not
make
me.
that decision.
No, I couldn't do it. I won't get the test. But I won't get the PSA because it's such a lousy test. Here's an interesting thing: the inventor of the PSA
has never taken the test?
says it's not supposed to be used this way. The way it's supposed to be used is if you have prostate cancer, it gauges how well the treatments work. But it's not supposed to
So
be used
who
as a screening
decided,
test.
to use it as a...
Urologists.
Why?
And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Oh,
I'm not going to say that's why. I'm not ascribing motives, allegedly,
Right.
that's what it is. But they think, well, like you say, well, if there's this chance, outside chance we could do this, that we could find the test, they could pick it up. And look, my patients say, when I tell them how garbage the test is, they say, well, what other test you got? I said, there is no test. They say, so how am I going to know if I have prostate cancer?
I don't know.
Why-
Well,
how am I
let
gonna
me
know?
ask you something.
No, there's
when
no
you go
way.
to
I
the
say you
doctor,
don't
though,
know.
do they make you get the test?
No, not at all.
Then why are people getting the test? How do they know to get the test?
Because they know there's this test for prostate cancer.
No, so
Some
you're
people
saying
don't.
that,
Do you know
you're
that-
saying,
I
wait,
mean,
wait,
it sounds
wait,
like the cure is worse than the disease. I don't
wait,
wanna
you're
bother.
saying that people go to the doctor and say, can you give me this
Yes,
test?
they go
and
to
how
me
do
and
they
say-
know it?
They've heard that from a friend whose life was saved because they got this test.
Oh.
You know, you got to get that doctor to give you the test. And I give them these numbers, but they're like, well, what else you got for me to figure out if I have prostate cancer? And I say, you know what? I'm not a magician. I can't tell you if you do, but I can tell you there's this garbage test. And as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences of this test, as long as you're mentally able to deal with the fact that this test could lead you down a really bad road and not save your life, then that's okay. And a lot of people say, sure, I'd rather do that. And that's okay. But here's the question. The question is, why are we pushing a test without telling people this information? In the end, to make a good decision, you need good information. And that's what we really want. Hey, hope you like the podcast. We'll be back next week. I'm going to give you some information. If you want to check the website, if you want to email me, if you got your own stories, let's talk about it. See you next week.